Hello, welcome to another Club 100 Sprint 60 round. This is from Lydd Kart Circuit, which is a very fast circuit, and well, you joined me here in qualifying, which I thankfully had. Well, I'm not going to say anything about the car because it was obviously all me. But this is my qualifying lap, so into the first chicane, very quick. Hooked up left hand curb, fine. Front run through there quickly. Hook it tight to the right. I don't really know about using all the curbs, but as long as you're on the pad pretty quick, you're doing a good job. I'm keeping it quite tight through this one, just running the speed through, keeping it nice and smooth, trying to get no wheel spin. And then clipping the apex to the right, round a long left, and then onto the back straight. You can see in front that we've caught the guy in front. Can't quite pick out who that is from here, but maybe I'll figure out at some point. But yeah, and into the last corner, nice and smooth, and we actually come across line to a 44 dead, which was only 0.4 quicker than the rest of the field, on pure talent alone. Absolutely no rockets were harmed in the making of this video. And by that I mean that the kart may have been a bit quicker. It was definitely doing a good job for me on the straights, I'll give it that, but still had to do the corners, but you don't often see 0.4 on the field, especially around a track like this. And so I was just coming in after the qualifying lap, and my teammate from the 24 here telling me that I got a double pole position by the looks of it, judging by those signals, which is, yeah, I didn't know at the time if I got pole, but yeah, so my first ever pole position at Lydd, which previously I have gone okay at, to be fair, but this is very okay. And actually Amwell is alongside me, and he will definitely be keeping me on my toes because he is annoyingly good at Club 100. So, and no, I can't pick out who that is, but we've also got, so right behind us we've got Danborough and Tim Clark, and I'm not sure about the other person. There's one other person that's in this sort of top 5 that we have in this group, and maybe the name will come to me, but for now we're into start, and for the first time leading the way. So into the first chicane, just trying to make sure I don't have anyone alongside, which I don't, so I've got the clean run through. I'm just going to try and get our head down for the first lap. Obviously I'm nervous with people behind, and with random car allocation it means that I'm figuring out what this car's like as we go, but so far so good. I haven't had any big lockups or big slides, understeer, so feeling good. And so far there's been no anwar, so I'm definitely feeling positive. So coming to the back straight now to come up, well, to get to the final corner and finish this first lap. We lead for the first time ever for me in a Club 100, official Club 100 round. I had actually won a event called the BP Solo Extreme a couple of times before, which was in Club 100 karts, but this is the first time actually an official, official for Sprint 60, let's say. But yeah, so, and once again, no problems at all, so I'm definitely feeling pretty happy with this, because usually my starts are where I have to then make up a bit of ground, but this time we've actually done quite well. So a lovely clear track in front, you know, it's plain sailing at the moment, which is very good for me for sure. On a very nice, very hot day, I actually managed to get sunburn on my neck. It was the only place I think I missed. So every time I was going down one side of this track, my neck was getting burnt, which is good. But yeah, so coming into second chicane now. Yellow flags, which is a bit of a worry. Don't quite know what you're going to see when you've been here a lap, but it looks like someone's been knocking those tyres with sand puts in the back. And then coming into here, which you can just see I'm a bit wider here because I've actually got Amwar on the right hand side of me, and I'm just trying to squeeze him out here and just put him off going for the move, but he goes for it anyway, sends it up the inside, fair play. So now I'm just thinking, right, I'll sit behind, because I don't really want to battle, I don't want to end up in the pack. I don't know how many people are behind me, but you can see we've got okay speed. I slipstream doing quite well there, and the slipstream does help a lot around this track. So can see I'm catching on all the straights, which is good. So clearly something is going well with the kart, but must be maybe I'm not quite as strong as I am in other areas. But into here, following M1 now, and I'm just taking a slight defensive line because we've had a bit of a battle. I'm conscious maybe there's more people behind me or whatever, so just slightly defensive lines just to put people off, but it doesn't put Tim off with an absolute send. Now this camera doesn't do that send justice, but he threw it in there. It was a proper lunge, and I think he did wave to like apologise for it being a bit of a lunge, but you can see behind Dan it also slipped through there, as you saw. So down to 4th, still feeling fine. I'm not really too worried because I'm not being really dropped, just a couple of corners maybe not gone well, but Timmy hits the curb and he hits the tyres and he completely takes out the tyres, and I actually hit them with my head, believe it or not. That actually came up over my shoulder and hit the right side of my helmet, which I was then readjusting for the next half a lap. And yeah, gained 2 positions out of that. So you can see Tim, he's hit the curb and he's gone wide, and he's just left with nowhere to go. He takes these tyres out, and I just go straight into it. But I gained 2 positions, so it's no pain, no gain. But those tyres went straight over my head. Thankfully, it didn't scratch my helmet because that would have actually made me cry. But into the final corner, we've already been done again by, this was, for some reason, his name slipped me, but he's gone into second place now. So we're back down to 3rd. And, with Tim taking out those cones there, he actually gets a cone penalty, which is a 1-place penalty, I believe. Which, for absolutely demolishing those tyres, which were nailed together, I later found out, with quite big screws, which could have definitely stabbed me or scratched my helmet. So thankfully that didn't happen and we did survive for another day. But you can see now we are actually getting a bit dropped here, so we've lost quite a lot of time just in that section. I don't really know where I lost that time either. But here's Dan's come through now. He's been in really good form recently. He was very quick at Wilton, and he's once again quick here as we've passed some guy who's definitely had a bad day. Don't know how he's ended up there, but fair play to him. You see quite a big drift into there, so I've not really done that well, not maximised that very well, and potentially into here. Yeah, here comes Tim with another cheeky lunge. Both of the moves he's done are very sort of, you can tell how much overspeed he's got on me. He's come from quite a way back, but he's fair enough, he's done the move. So I sit behind him now. Try and see if I can just go along with it. You see here I'm getting really good slipstream and turning up to the back of him quite nicely, so I'm not really sure where I'm losing out, so I'm just trying to follow Tim now, see if I can go with him, because he's clearly got a good bit of pace here, so I'm going to try and latch onto the back of him, and already he's getting me a little bit, and I don't really see what I did wrong there, so I'm not entirely sure. He takes, once again, he sort of clouts that curve. That's sort of what he did when he hit the tyres, but because he hit them so hard, they actually decided to leave the tyres out for the rest of the race, because, well, I don't even want to put them back together again. I'm not really sure where I'm lacking. I'm sticking with Tim, so down to 5th. Unfortunately, we have lost a lot of time to 2nd and 3rd now, but I'm going to work with Tim here, and as you see, another, I can't remember how many minutes I was now, maybe 7 minutes later, Tim's got, what, a second on me there? Not much at all in the grand scheme of things, but just enough. So we're now into the stage of getting past the back markers now, or the lap carts, and this, as you may have seen at Wilton, if you watched that video, was the bane of my life, I think, because I was really struggling to pull moves off, but thankfully it's bone dry at the moment, so no issues with trying to go offline to pass people, which definitely helps make it a much cleaner move. Actually, Tim taking an adventurous, optimistic tactic, trying to get past this back marker here, going all the way around the grass and showering me with dust, a bit like Ricciardo in Austria, showering Leclerc with all the grass and rubbish. I think maybe it's just a sneaky tactic trying to put me off. We've followed him through and we've gained a lot on Tim here, so we can really, well, potentially close up again, try and use a bit of slipstream, just see if we can hang on to him, see if we've learned anything over these 15 minutes to go a bit quicker in this car, because I'm still not really seeing anything bad. Maybe there's a little bit low end acceleration, but realistically, not really. So this is my fast lap. So say we're in a nice position here to get a tiny bit of a tow here from Tim. And you see I'm gaining on the way into here. Quite fast entry, but then I'm losing. Not really losing much. That's a pretty standard sort of concertina effect. Into there, nice and tight. Around the right hander at the bottom end of the circuit. Over the crest. That's quite a decent crest actually. I actually drove a Rotax car here, and that's actually pretty much a jump. So, but it does can make your stomach go if you're not expecting it. And into the final corner, you can see we've held on to Tim here quite nicely. Kept the gap pretty similar, and come across the line for a 44.4. So just 0.4 off my pole lap time. So you can see I definitely didn't have a rocket in the quali lap. Don't know what I'm about. Yeah, right, this fella coming up. This fella is actually it's quite tricky to pass, as you can see by that. He's very firm with his driving when he doesn't know who's coming past. So obviously he doesn't know I'm coming through with someone to lap him or anything like that. So he just assumes, whoever's coming past, his position or whatever, which is fair enough. Just means that when I come see him, I'm making sure I try and get well into his line of sight, just so that I can guarantee the move at least gets done, or at least I can hope for some cooperation in the move, which is always one of the fun, trying to get past people that say you don't know who you're fighting all the time. Just coming into here now, we're going to get a bit held up here because I can't quite take my speed for it, but we just time it to get the switch underneath, and I actually had to come off the throttle there just to make sure I time that right to get underneath him. And then yeah, just sort of following Tim, really following the warpath that he provides us. He's just out of the range that I can actually use the gaps he makes to get past. So I'm sort of the next corner is my attempt. Hopefully the back mug still remembers that maybe someone, a front runner, came through and he might be expecting another. But with a bit of very clean editing there. I think this is Martin. Yeah, come through Martin. He's very cool too. He likes to give some waves, so it's very friendly. Let us get past. Probably too friendly for his own good, to be honest, but I'll take it. Another back marker now. Just to say, managing traffic is very important when you're sort of charging around at the front of these races, because it can cost you a lot of time if you get it wrong. And this is sort of one of those awkward moments here where this guy's a bit all over the road. He does point me through, which is fair enough. And that sometimes helps, sometimes it doesn't. It's sort of like, if you're sort of prepared to go that way anyway, it's fine. If you're not, it can be really sort of confusing because you're sort of half going one way, half going the other. I've had it before where people point where they want you to go, but then they also drive into that space because they're then looking behind and trying to do that, and it just doesn't end very well. But you can see this race is pretty much flown by now, so we're on the final lap in 5th. Now, up in front there was some incidents, so you got Tim obviously with the cone penalty, and his name still escapes me, but the guy in 3rd had a curb warning, which was for, I think it was a curb, which was a 2-place penalty, or a curb penalty, sorry. So, and Tim and him were fighting. I was watching it in front of me, and I was hoping that firstly Tim would be the one in 4th, because then I knew I'd get his position because he had a 1-place penalty. But I found out that Tim did come in 4th, and the guy in front who had the 2-place penalty finished in 3rd, so I then gained both those positions. So I end up with actually a P3 after that race, which I'll definitely take, because that's, I didn't quite have the pace for 3rd, unfortunately, but that's a good salvage result after being quite a long way behind. And coming into the pits now, and I think, if I remember how I edited this, you'll hear a quick debrief with Tim. Here it is.
I caught your tyre on my head. It went straight over my head. I never got a mark on for the rubber, but tiny bit. Yeah. It just went straight underneath it. You good send on the first, I can't remember where it was. You came flying out of nowhere into the right hand.
I know, yeah. I was, sorry about the tyre. I probably copped that up there.
Yeah, you kept hitting that curb, and then it sort of sent you wide.
What I was doing, I just couldn't seem to get it in.
Well, and on that note, we'll leave it there. I'm sorry for Tim's problems there. But yeah, that is Lydd, and I will hopefully have race 2 done, well, in the near future. But there's a lovely shot, some rear wheel in the air, and an even better shot with me leading the way. Hopefully some more of them to follow, but for now, that was it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.